Welcome back to Rivals. We're in our GOAT edition, greatest of all time, NBA, because it's the NBA playoffs, and we're talking about the Celtics and the Lakers. And they're arguably, well, it's not even arguably, they're two of the most successful all-time franchises in NBA championships. It doesn't even come close.
Yeah, it's not close.
And not only winning, but playing. I mean, they've gone and lost a lot more than most teams have. So we've got our Celtics team.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna start with our Lakers team, and it's gonna be pretty easy. I mean,
I'm gonna throw you off with one.
Okay, so let's throw me off to start with.
So
which BYU player from the Lakers are you gonna share with me?
No, I gotta have it because he plays my style of basketball to the T. If you want to see me as a basketball player, look at Kurt Rambis.
I knew that, and I'm like, put a pair of those like black square glasses.
All the glasses
you're
on.
like, it's like a spitting image.
And just a rebounding fool, right? Just a defensive fool, just a hustler that just impacted the game without having a bunch of flashy points. But they were not the same team without Kurt Rambis.
No, you got to have those role players.
He was a role player, but he was just that nasty, grind out, tough guy, basketball. I loved watching him.
Okay, here, let me just help you with this because I think we'll probably agree with a good portion of these.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we'll start with a guy named Magic
Johnson, absolutely.
A guy named Wilt.
Oh, yeah, Wilt Chamberlain.
A guy named Kobe. A guy named
Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar
/ Bruce Lee movie.
A guy named Shaq.
Look at all the names they have in there, man.
A guy named West.
Yep.
What about a guy? So right there you have 6.
Yeah.
We agree on all those, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You only have 2 more. Is James Worthy the guy? Worthy was
a great one.
A heck of a player.
Great one.
What about Elgin Baylor?
Ooh, that was another great one.
I mean, he's
Elgin Baylor,
unbelievable. James Worthy. They had Karl Malone.
Yeah, it got Carl in there.
It's kind of funny to see some of them where they played for these other teams, but they didn't play for, they kind of played late in their careers.
Yeah, and football does that too. Sometimes they're at the twilight of their career and aren't, we call them the scholarship years. Sometimes they bring in those great names to play 1 or 2 years, bonus years, and they provide leadership, and they're good.
Vlade Divac was a heck of a player for the Lakers. Do you have you have Paul Gasol, who was a pretty darn good player, with Derek Fisher.
I'm gonna go.
Who are we missing? Gail Goodrich was a heck of a player.
Yeah. And there's a guard that I'm just.
AC Green was one of those role players.
Great role player too. Yeah, he'd fit in there. I would go. Probably with Worthy.
Okay, we got Worthy.
And was it Elgin Baylor, right?
Yeah. That's your sentimental pick in Kurt Rambis.
Yeah, you gotta have a role player in there like that.
So I'm concerned right now, just looking at this, and it jumped out at me right from the very beginning, is the Lakers have too many players, and we could base this on how great they are, that they have too many players right now who are known by just one name.
Oh,
right?
That's true. Kareem.
I mean,
Shaq,
it's kind of like
Magic.
It's kind of like those diva, like Cher.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of arrived when you just
like that.
You just have one name.
Yeah.
You know, Shaq. You know, Kareem.
Yeah.
You know, Magic. I mean, and it's not like one. It's like, I mean, literally, their starting five is like one. It's like one name.
Right.
And so, I'm a little bit concerned, just from. So if we're basing it off on one name right now, you know, I mean, obviously the Lakers have the advantage. The interesting thing, and you may not know this, Jason, but I'm going to educate you on it. The interesting thing is who do you think's won more championships?
Oh man, going back, because you dial that clock back all the way, I'd still go with the Lakers.
It's actually the Celtics.
What?
Yeah, the Celtics. I know. I know. I was surprised you wouldn't think about it.
Yeah.
What?
You dig back in history, though. I mean, they had a lot of great years.
You look at these teams, and we'll kind of match them up, like who's going to play who, right?
Yeah.
But just to think about it, how do you go? And it's not like, you know, like you could say, well, the Bulls in the '90s, and the Detroit Pistons won a lot of championships, but over the course of the entire history of the NBA, which isn't like, you know, it's not hundreds of years, but it's quite a few. You have to wonder, how come two teams just kind of dominate? You know, a lot of, I mean, you could argue that this group of players could beat anybody. I mean that's it. And I'm talking about both teams.
It's got to go back to the organization. I mean, it has to go back to the organization and the coach they bring in. Are they going to bring in a Joe Gibbs and a Chuck Noll? Are they going to bring in the right talent and support the coach in the right way? I mean, do they have the right environment at the organization to create championships? I mean, you and I both played on several teams, and we've seen, you know, poor organizations and better organizations. I mean, I got to play for one of the best with, you know, Jack Kent Cook and Joe Gibbs. I mean, I got to experience it, but I also got to experience the Bengals.
Right. We'll have a show on
management-wise.
We'll have a show on our the life and times of the Bengals back in the day. But let me tell you something about the Bengals. Okay.
I mean, it's a great football city. I mean, it's a great town.
They've been to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions have never been to one. And you know what? The Detroit Lions have a very good organization. Like when you were there, they took great care of the players.
Really?
Oh my goodness, it was a great, from that standpoint, yes, it was wonderful. But for whatever reason, we just couldn't get out of our way sometimes. And we had good teams when I was there. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more about coaches. Yeah. And then we're going to kind of look at these matchups and who would match up against whom, and then really drill it down and pick our greatest of all time NBA basketball team and along with the coach. So you do not want to miss this. Come right back, and we'll see you.